Hello, I am Dr. Anjana Agarwal. Today we are talking about the food groups. In the previous lesson, you have learned about the food, its function, nutrients. Now, it becomes easy if you make anything in group, and learning of different kinds of food groups will help you in learning about the selection of the food to make a balanced diet. And balanced diet is the word which is popular everywhere, but still few people know it. What does it mean? So, in this lesson we will learn about the food groups based on the functions of food and nutrient availability, balanced diet, food exchange, meal planning, factors affecting meal planning and the family meals. Food groups are the collection of food items providing similar nutrients in each food group. This definition will help you to know how we can group different kinds of food. It is a nutritional guide to plan a balanced diet. There are different functions of the food. On that basis, you can see the below. The popularly is 3 food group, which is easy to learn: energy rich food, body building foods and protective foods. Or we can also say the foods which provide energy are carbohydrates, protein and fats or oils. Body building foods are necessary for growth and development. From protein, lipids, vitamins, minerals and water are necessary or included in the body building foods. Protective food means it is necessary for fighting the diseases or regulating the functions, and which can be obtained by eating the foods rich in proteins, lipids, vitamins, minerals and water. There is another food groups given by the ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, and NIN, National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad. These 5 food groups are cereals, number 2 pulses and legumes, number 3 milk, meat, egg and fish, number 4 fruits and vegetable, number 5 fats and sugars. Let us see one by one. First, we will talk about the cereals are the major body of our meal. Cereals include, as you can see in the picture also, the bread, chapati, rice and the various kinds of food preparation made from cereals. It also includes the millets like jawar, bajra, etc. Let us see what are their functions. Cereals are the food grains and forms the major part in our diet, have many health benefits because it contains large variety of nutrient. An advantage of cereals are that they can be stored for several months because most of them are seasonal crops. They provide energy, protein, complex carbohydrate, that means the carbohydrate which is having the fiber, some vitamins, minerals and fiber. Now, we will talk about the pulses. This is a second group. You have just seen pulses and legumes. Here I have written the pulses only. Let me explain you. When we use the word pulses and legumes, they are interchangeably used, but recently the FAO has given a distinction between legume and the pulses. Both of them belong to the Leguminaceae family, but legumes include the pulses as well as the seeds which are providing the oil also, like soya bean and the groundnut. That includes in the legume, but pulses are in general 11 types, but legumes includes the pulses as well as the oil seeds. Pulses are major source of protein, particularly for the vegetarians. They are used as whole pulse seeds, splits, which is called as dal also. Germinated pulse seeds are also consumed, and they in addition provide vitamin C and some minerals. Actually, the vitamin C is synthesized during germination, and minerals which are present in the pulses are easily available in the body. Pulses can also be stored for several months like cereals. You can see the variety of pulses in this picture. They provide energy, protein, complex carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals and fiber. Third food group is milk, meat, fish and egg and the products made from them. They are obtained from animals. Most of the vegetarians do drink milk, various kinds of milk products like curd, paneer, etc., but do not consume the meat and egg. Non-vegetarians consume the meat, egg, fish and also the milk products. Milk is a complete food but only for the young infants, and after 6 months it is not remain as complete food, because as you can see here also that they are poor source of vitamin C and iron. They are not good source of carbohydrate, but they are good enough source of energy because they contain good amount of fat and protein. They provide vitamins, particularly the vitamin B12 is available in animal products, not in plant products or very low amount from plant products. Minerals, there are wide variety of minerals, particularly calcium is available from these products. Now, fourth food group we will talk about the fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables is an array of colors, array of flavors, array of textures. Why I am stressing on these? The colorful foods are rich source of vitamins, minerals and several compounds which are very necessary and useful for our health. If we miss the fourth food group or color from your diet, then we are missing the health providing components. Let us see the fruits and vegetable in brief only. There are different kinds of fruits and vegetable. Most of them are used fresh, they are perishable and cannot be stored for months together as cereals and pulses. They can be stored or for few days only. They should be stored in a good environment. Some of them are stored in ambient conditions, some are stored in freezer as deep freeze material or in the refrigerator. Fruits are also eaten as raw. Vegetables can be divided into 3 large groups: roots and tubers, which gives the potatoes, carrot, radish, turnip, etc. Green leafy vegetables, spinach, mint, coriander, fenugreek, etc. Other vegetables, the list is very long: lauki, brinjal, tinda, pumpkin, etc. And there are varieties of fruits which are also categorized, but mainly if you keep eating the citrus fruits, colorful fruits, yellow, orange and different rainbow kind of, you can understand much more easily. From them you will be able to receive large amount of vitamins, minerals, fibers and lots of antioxidants. The next food group or the fifth food group is fats and sugar. It is very rich in energy, but on the right side you will see energy, but only the empty calories. Fats and sugar do not provide any other kind of nutrients. You will see here an example: 1 teaspoon is equivalent to 5 grams of fat, which gives you 45 calories, and 1 teaspoon of sugar gives you 20 calories. Fats and sugar should be consumed in less quantity. If you consume them in excess, it is very harmful to the health and can cause many lifestyle diseases. But it is a very tasty. Fats and sugar gives lots of taste to the food. Some of the food contains invisible fat, particularly the nuts and other foods, but they should be consumed because they are necessary for various kinds of functions in the body. So, now you have learned about the properties of different kinds of food groups. They are mainly 5 food groups. If you know this much, then it will becomes easy to plan the diet. What is that? Balanced diet. Balanced diet is the diet containing the foods from various food groups or all the food groups providing all the necessary nutrients required by the body. Different age groups, different activity, different physiological conditions require different amounts of nutrients, and accordingly the balanced diet can be planned, but it is very easy to learn the basics of balanced diet. The in picture you have seen there are different food groups, and in the middle you have seen the Indian thali. This is a pyramid from India. In the lower range, the eat these foods, grains, which includes the pulses and the cereals, eat adequately. Next is eat liberally, that includes the fruits and vegetables. Eat moderately, that includes your milk, meat, fish, etc. And eat sparingly, that includes your tasty things, the fats, sugar, sweets, fried foods, etc. And this yellow is a sign of sun. As I told you in the beginning, this will give you the vitamin D. You should not indulge in smoking and the alcohol. If you follow this, then it will give you the healthy balanced diet. Let us see dietary guidelines for the Indians. Choose a variety of foods in amounts appropriate for age, gender, physiological status and physical activity. Use a combination of whole grains, grams and greens. Include jaggery or sugar and cooking oils to bridge the calorie gap or energy gap if it is there. Prefer fresh locally available vegetables and fruits in plenty. Include the diet foods of animal origin such as milk, egg and meat, particularly for pregnant and lactating women and children. Adults should choose low fat protein rich foods such as lean meat, fish, pulses and low fat milk. Develop a healthy eating habit and exercise regularly and move as much as you can. If this much is understood very clearly, now we can move forward to plan the diet. Now we will learn different terms now about the meal. The food eaten or prepared for eating at one time is referred as meal. Lunch is a meal, it is not a diet. When we use the term diet, it is a kind of food a person habitually eats is known as diet. It can be designed and eaten for medical or cosmetic, that means weight loss, weight gain purposes. Diet includes all the meals eaten in the day. Today's diet is not today's meal, our diet plan. So, now we will understand what is meal planning. The planning, you know it, it is a thought process, it is not an action. So, when we use this word with the meal planning is a thought process given prior to purchase and preparation of the food items to be used in a specific meal. It involves the knowledge of food, which you are getting it right now, nutrient requirement and food preferences, because food cannot be eaten only for the nutrient, but it has to be tasty, as you have learned in the previous lesson also. It is also necessary for adequate in amount, acceptable in taste and required at the time need to have the meal, and it is a skill which improves with the practice. We have also learned variety of food items, and one person like one and another person like the other food item, then what to do? We have to have equal amount of nutrients required by the person. Then there is a system, and that system is called food exchange. It means one food item or one food preparation can be substituted with the other item, but that should contain similar amount of nutrient. Here I have shown the two pictures. One picture shows simple dal and chapati, and if someone do not like that at a particular time, then means some other food preparation can also be eaten, like your idli and sambar. That also includes your rice, that means cereals, and sambar, that also includes your pulses and this thing. That means the in nutritional availability, both the meals are equally important or can be substituted, and in general also one can see that North Indian people prefer the dal roti and the South Indian people prefer the idli sambar. So, that is how, but nutrient wise both are equal. Now, we were talking about the meal planning and we have just given an example to food exchange. Now, let us see why we do it meal planning, because we learn the nutritional needs of the individual and that can be fulfilled. We must also understand whatever food choices and nutritional value, whether it is worth the money spending on it. It also helps in purchase, preparation and service of the food. It helps to economize the time, labor and fuel. We will always think which food item will be cooked faster, eaten faster, which is a labor taking, but we should not compromise on nutritional value of the food. The person requires variety in the diet. No person can eat the same food item every day in every meal. Make meals much more appealing and palatable. The individual preferences are also considered and wastage of the food and the time is also minimized. You can also use the leftovers, and some of the food items require the pre-preparation, that is also covered. What are the factors affecting the meal planning? It is the age. You cannot serve the same food to all the members of the family. Each member, though we require to have the meal all together, but each person will have different liking also. So, that must be cared for. Young children like sweet, adolescents need variety, adults like spicy and elders stress on the food which is easy to digest. Girls like light and fancy delicacies and boys like more rich food that support their body image. Third is seasonal availability. You cannot have each and food item in every season. Winters have more warm foods. Some of the foods are available in winters only, like green leafy vegetables, and in summers mangoes and watermelons are available. They are not available in winters. Economic consideration are also important. Occupation. If you are a person of desk job worker, you need less calorie because you are not doing much muscular work. You are sitting on the table and doing your job. But a heavy duty worker who is working outside the world, making your building and etc., then you need more calories. Physiological needs. Pregnancy, growing years need more amount of nutritious food, while elders need the food for repairing and maintenance. Here you can see some of the pictures, very tempting. This one family is eating the food, another when several age group people are sitting together, guests are sitting together, you are eating the food. Small baby is learning to eat the food and there is a celebration you need. So, all of these require a different kind of meal planning, but these are some of the major meals eaten in a day. Breakfast, in which you usually add bread, butter, milk, omelette, sprouts, seasonal fruits, paratha curd, and these are some of the just items which many people eat in our country. In lunch, people normally eat chapati, rice, dal, vegetables. So, you will see here the most of the things are including from the various food groups. In the evening, tea is not a major meal, but prefer to have some kind of tea or cool beverage along with a snack, or they may not have the snack also, but dinner is same as lunch. Here I would like to add one more point. What is important here? At least 3 or 4 major food groups should be included in major meals. Fats and sugar is used generally in the preparation of meal. So, when you are having the major meals like breakfast, there should be at least one preparation giving the energy from the cereals. Another preparation can be either the milk or the pulse, so giving you the protein. And the third one should be any kind of from fruits and vegetables, which can be for the vitamins and minerals. That is how you can use all types of food groups to make a balanced diet. I will just brief it again. In this lesson of food group, as the word says, you have learned about different kinds of food group. you have learnt about the importance of each food group. You have learnt about what are the nutrients each food group provide, and how using these food groups you will design a balanced diet, and what are the characteristics the balanced diet should have, what are the factors and what are the things you will keep in mind while planning the meal for the family members, or wherever you are doing any kind of meal preparation or purchasing. You need to have in mind that what is important that can fulfill the nutritional requirement, as well as giving you the food preference or your liking of the food, so that you can relish the food yourself and along with the family members. Thank you very much.